This podcast is presented by Win City Sports.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Cedric Sports Interviews. I am your host, Cedric Ben. Today, my special guest is former Canadian champion and former world champion, Mr. RasBarrington Francis. In 1988, Mr. Francis won the award for Fighter of the Year from the Canadian Boxing Federation. And in 1992, he also won the award for Fighter of the Year from the World Boxing Federation. Most importantly, he is the only retired Canadian Boxing Federation Featherweight champion. I gotta repeat that one more time. The only retired Canadian Boxing Federation Featherweight champion. And I got a chance to sit down with him and talk about his career. So here we go. Okay, so I am joined today by former Canadian and world champion boxer RasBarrington Francis. Thank you very much for joining me today, Ross. I want to start out by saying congratulations to the long, successful career that you've had with the multiple Canadian and world championships titles that you've won. And I just want to have you on today just so more people can hear about your story and how you came up and how you the hard work that you put into for the success that you've had. So congratulations and thank you for joining me today. So I know you came originally from Jamaica, came and your family moved to Montreal. That's what really attracted me to really know more about your story. You moved to my hometown of Montreal, but you didn't just stumble into the boxing club by accident. You come from a deep bloodline of boxers. Can you briefly talk about your great uncle, great boxer, Percy Hayes?
Thank you, Cedric. It is he's a great man. My uncle Percy Hales is Canadian, was Jamaica's first world and international known professional fighter.
Okay.
He fought against the likes of Canadian greats. Dave Hilton TKO'd him, and Al Ford, he TKO'd Al Ford at the under the card of the George Foreman and Joe Frazier in 1973 when they went they came to the National Stadium. That's how he gained the Commonwealth title.
Okay.
He also defeated former world champion Joe Brown for advancement.
Nice. So were you able? So was he the kind of the what started you off wanting to be a boxer, or how did that start off? How did you get into first get into the boxing club?
Well, how I got in, it was definitely the inspiration that he left off. We left Jamaica under the circumstances weren't great.
Yeah.
And so forth. And I miss my mom, my mother, Norma Hales, who is the sister of Percy Hales. All I remembered was Percy Hales and my mom when I came to live in Canada, because boxing was also well known. To my delight, I wanted to join a gym and pursue the career that my uncle,
Your uncle was
explored.
successful in. Nice.
Yes.
So you had briefly, you had about 60 amateur bouts.
I had 50 and 10.
50 and
So
10,
yeah,
50 and 10. And
yeah.
you turned professional at the age of 19. So what that's still pretty young. What gave you the confidence to turn professional at 19?
Well, Russ Amber, who was my trainer at the time, and I decided that, you know, it was time to, you know, to go ahead. Plus,
Nice.
it was it for me. It was a job to go into professional boxing.
Okay.
When I went in, I pursued it as I paid my rent, I paid my food, that was my whole life.
Nice. 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 And so you started out your career, 1985, I believe it was. You won your first championship in 1988.
Yes.
How can you talk about that? What was the lead up to that? How did you work your way up to that, and how did that feel, getting that first title?
Well, I actually won a Canadian Eastern Canadian title in '86
In
against
'86.
Serge Cousin. Okay, and yeah, my Canadian professional boxing federation title. I won that against Pascual Procopio in 1988. That was something big for me because I really looked at the Pascual and the way the fight went. The first time it was controversial. I wanted to show Pascual that I felt like I was a champion, and
Yeah.
I was a champion. So I agreed to give him the rematch, and when I we fought at the Montreal Forum, in Montreal at the time.
The
That was
Montreal
that was
Forum. Yes.
yeah, the fought at the Montreal Forum, and we I defeated Pasquale in 5 rounds. And after that, Pasquale came up to me and said, Barrington, you beat me this time. That was more to, gratifying to me. I
Yeah.
felt so
Because he
good.
admitted he admitted
Yeah,
when.
that he said that to
Yeah.
me. Yeah, and it's a title that I hold to my heart, and a title that I hold to my heart to this day.
Nice, nice, nice. What was your mindset going into the your 1994 battle with correct me if I think I might have got the name wrong. Is it Vittorio Salvatore?
Salvatore? Yeah, so Victoria is also from Montreal. I know of past experience, amateur and professional, how to I know how to prepare to fight because I turned pro in 1985 while Victoria was still an amateur. I knew that I knew I had to hedge over him. Okay, experience wise,
Okay.
because you just don't come into professional boxing and you go 10 or 12 rounds. You can't do that. You
No.
have to build your endurance and you have to know how to do it.
Like
Okay, so
you mean slowly building your way up, like doing 4 rounds and then 6 rounds and then eight and
exactly
10.
correct.
Okay, okay.
Correct. You have to do that. Okay. And to know, to know that, so you could probably go 4 rounds nonstop. You could probably go 6 rounds nonstop, but forget about going 8 rounds and 10 rounds nonstop. It's not
Mm.
going to happen. Okay.
That's the
If
main
you don't,
difference between the
it-
amateur and the pro
that's a
level.
big, indeed, that's a big difference. You can't do that. Okay. Some amateur people think that they can come and do that. They can't do that.
Mm.
It is just I did not see a person to this day apply that and got away with it.
So
Because
that's the big difference as far as you need the difference between amateur and professional is you actually need the that power, not to be able to just go. You can't keep that pace up for like you said, not
I
even, I was
get
gonna say 12 rounds, but not even 8 rounds, right? So you got to be able to.
I would yeah, I wouldn't call it power. I would call it stamina
Mm,
and endurance,
okay.
which gives you power.
Mm,
Yes, indeed. Stamina and endurance does give you power because once you're stabilized with
hmm.
your stamina and your endurance, that power is there.
Hmm.
I definitely had that.
For sure, for sure. Um, Going back to that fight with Salvatore, I couldn't get what the scorecards were, but the commentator Ray Rudder, he said that he felt that you were losing the fight and that Salvatore can just coast it for the last 3 rounds and still win. In that last round, with about 1 minute left, you caught him with a serious combination and then finished him off with a bunch of right hands before the referee had to come jump in to save him. How was you? What was your mindset going into that final round there?
Um, as I expressed earlier, Cedric, that it stamina builds endurance.
Hmm.
Okay, you cannot come in the gym, you cannot come in the ring, professional boxing ring, and fight like a madman. It doesn't work.
Hmm.
Okay, that was my strategy to slowly build. Okay, I was boxing, I was holding, yes, I was, and I was, trying to, not be there.
Yeah,
When,
yeah,
when he
yeah.
punched, right? So then when it came my time, because I knew my time was coming, because I knew he was going to get tired, it was just, I could have done anything I wanted.
Mm,
He was at my mercy.
mm,
He doesn't care. Oh, but they're saying, he could have done and he did all this tremendous. That was nothing.
mm.
I let him do that. Okay.
Okay.
Because when it was my time to come, and if I wanted to, I could have finished it and don't stop.
Mm. So you took him. You
Okay?
basically took him to deep waters and let him
I took
drown.
him to deep waters. I took him to deep waters and I let him drown.
Nice, nice,
Because,
nice.
but I didn't let him drown. I saved him.
Yes.
Because boxing is not a game.
Hmm.
Boxing is not a game. I could have drowned him. Okay,
Hmm.
I could have not stopped.
Exactly.
Right, I could have not stopped, and I would be, within my will because as a professional fighter, anything goes.
Hmm.
Okay, if
Exactly.
if it could have happened to me,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't happen to me because I was not at that. I was
Hmm.
not there. I was not in that position.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he definitely and certainly was.
Nice.
He
Nice.
certainly was
Nice.
in that position.
Perfect. Perfect. That was
Okay.
for. Was that one for a title, or that was just
That
a
was
big
for the
fight?
Canadian. That was for the Canadian title.
That was for
That
the.
after I relinquished it, my Canadian title to become world champion,
Hmm.
I've relinquished my Commonwealth and my and my world title to become world champion.
Okay. Now
Then yeah, yes,
I didn't want to. I hope I'm not skipping too far ahead. The the part where you had to move to Toronto at one point because you couldn't find any more fights in Montreal. Was this was this
okay.
before you won the 1991 championship, or was this after that?
No, no, because when I left Montreal is after I defeated Pasquale and he said that I won.
Mm. Okay, 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 okay. I got you.
So I eliminated everybody. There was nobody else to fight in Montreal, so we wanted to take it internationally.
Hmm. Okay, so then you moved to Toronto. That's when you start to get the bigger fights.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
indeed. That's when my manager Ray Rudder and I
Mm.
agreed to sign a 5-year contract. Which after the 5-year contract was over, okay, I fought Victor Salvatore, which Ray Rudder was commentating, and I won.
Mm.
Yeah,
And okay, okay, nice. You won that one. This was 19 in the
90,
early 90s, correct?
1994.
That was
Cedric.
1994, and that was your last. That was your last championship.
That was, yes. No,
Mhm.
no, that was not my last championship. That was not my last title.
Okay, expand on that, please.
Expand. Okay, so after I defeated Victor Salvatore and I became Canadian champion again, then the Arturo Gotti, um, who left to live in New Jersey,
Hmm.
um, he was doing some things down there. And I know Arturo is younger than Victor Salvatore, and he's younger than Pasquale. You
Hmm.
know, so to me, he was no threat. So when I fought Arturo, um, we were going well, and then all of a sudden, the referee, started the fight on me for trying to defend myself.
This is against,
I
just to be clear, so people know, this is against Arturo Gotti.
This was against Arturo Gotti. I was trying to defend myself, and the referee stopped the bout. I don't want to sound like, but it was Italian referee.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, and I don't know if what it had to do with him. I heard Arturo was in some sort of mob or something like that. I don't know how that
I
things
got it.
went,
You're a
but
victim of the politics. You're a victim of the
yeah, yeah,
politics.
exactly. Because I asked them, I said, "Fine, okay." The referee might have had it wrong. Grant me a rematch. They said, "No way."
And you can tell, you know that they, there's some funny stuff going on because the fight, most of your fights are on YouTube except for that one. I was looking
Yeah,
for that one all over, and for some reason, that's nowhere to be found.
it was on for a while, and I don't see it anymore. I don't understand.
Hmm. Now, and this Arturo Gotti, but this was also a little bit towards the end of your career.
Correct. So when I fought on Arturo, okay, and
Hmm.
he didn't give me a rematch, that was okay. That was great. Well, not great
Hmm.
because I really wanted to, show him. I had a mandatory title defense for my Canadian title against Top Flores in Winnipeg.
Okay.
Donnie Golden Boy Lalonde from the world champion light heavyweight.
Yes.
Okay, he was in my corner with my trainer, Bill Lehman, and we won and reinstated. And for the last time, I became the only Canadian featherweight champion in any weight to retire champion. There was nobody else.
Once you got to please say that one more time so people hear that clearly, please.
There was absolutely nobody else that could claim the Canadian boxing featherweight champion except Barrington Francis. Nobody
Yes.
else but myself.
Much respect, much respect, much respect.
Amen.
Um, and okay, so now I'm sorry, I know we're skipping back and forth. I just want to make sure I don't want to miss any of the championships. That was and that title right there, that was the final one, correct? Because yeah,
That was
obviously
the
it was
final,
because you retired it.
1995.
That was
Correct.
95. Okay, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. But we did skip one. In 1991, you got the World Boxing Federation Fighter of the
Yes.
Year. Although you won the championship that year, you got Fighter of the
I
Year in
won a title.
1992, correct?
Correct. Correct.
And just
Yes.
expand a little bit on that, on who you fought, how that fight went.
Well, after I won the Commonwealth title from Modest Napunya of Africa, okay, the best in Africa. I requested a title shot, a
Hmm.
world title shot against anybody.
Hmm.
WA, WBC, all the alphabet.
Hmm.
Nobody, nobody wanted except out of the blue came 13 fight, 13 KO, all in the first round, from Biloxi. No, not Biloxi. Where Steven Thibodeau, but he's from the States. So that's how I won the title. I defeated him on points.
Time out. Whoa, your opponent was 13-0 with 13 first round knockouts.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it was, sorry, not 13 first round, nine in the first round.
9 for still. That's still impressive.
Yeah, nine in the first round.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to win a world title, and I don't care if it was King Kong at that time. As long as he made my weight,
Yeah.
we were ready to go.
Nice. 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 Um. Okay. So I want to make sure I didn't miss any titles. You won the first one in 1986. A few
Yes,
Canadian World ones in between there. The last one was 1995. Was 1995.
yes. The Canadian title, like I told you, when I went
Yes.
to Winnipeg to fight Tots Flores,
Hmm.
and yeah, for the last time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, man. Now we went through your career. Just a few other things. The questions like specifically about coaching. Um, how much do you think coaching had to do with your success? Do you feel that just that question in general? How much did coaching have to do with your success? And what do you think makes like a championship
Coaching.
level head coach?
Okay. So coaching. When
Hmm.
it comes to talent, my future coaches taught me how to refine, but Russ Amber taught me technically how to fight.
Mm. Okay. 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 Perfect. Perfect. And what did you, as far as the difference between amateur and pro, what did you find was the biggest transition? I know we already expanded on the stamina, but obviously that's the number one thing. You got to be able to pace yourself better. But no
Yes,
headgear. The gloves are smaller, obviously.
yes.
Was it that big of an adjustment for you, especially again at 19 years old? You didn't even think, I'm not even sure if you have man strength yet.
Well,
How was that?
when you have adrenaline going through you, okay, and you do the right work to make you feel confident,
Hmm.
everything else is just passe.
Hmm.
Everything just comes as it should.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. Um, have you ever thought getting into coaching yourself?
No, because actually, I'll explain. I did the I'm really I didn't boxing for me
Yeah.
is I was really fighting.
Mm.
I wasn't playing a game. I was I learned the technique.
Mm.
I learned how to do it properly, but in there
Yeah.
I followed instructions, what I was told, how I was told, and I had talent. I know I had talent,
Mm.
and I just went and I got it.
Mm.
It was not a game. It was not something that I could say, okay, this guy looks, and let me train him in, yeah, we could win a championship.
Mm.
Wasn't like that.
I got you.
Not
So
for
that
me.
exactly that it kind of ties into my next question about work ethic. Obviously, as a boxer, you know the type of work ethic you need to put in to attain the success that you want to have. What specifically for any of the young people listening now that would have to like to have a long, successful career like yours, what just expand a little bit more on work ethic. Obviously it's pretty straightforward. You got to work hard to get what you want, but
Yeah. You
just the
have to do the work. You have to run. you most definitely have to acknowledge your defense. You don't want to get hurt. Um, so your defense should be the number one priority. Okay, have those hands up. Okay, move side to side. Have those lateral movement with your legs. You know, don't stand up because if you stand, you're gonna get hit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Learn to move. Learn to move, and you stick. Your jab is your pointer. It
Hmm.
helps you to create. So the
Exactly.
jab hand is what you should to you should how do you
Use it
say
as a measuring stick to kind of to start your offense for
to
offense
start
and
things off. To
defense.
start things off, exactly. But
Hmm.
your defense should be number one.
Exactly. I'm that's music to my ears. I'm glad you said that because as a coach myself, the number one thing that I preach is defense. It's easy.
Yes.
The offense is the easy part. Everyone likes throwing punches and
Oh
punching
my
the
God.
bag and looking cool hitting the bag, but
Oh my God. So
avoiding the
easy.
fire is a whole different ball game, right?
Yes. 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 And plus, well, when you avoid the fire, you could retaliate. You could come back, counter punch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly, exactly. Uh, Next thing, motivation. What exactly was your goal? What was your motivation? Was it the money? Was it
Oh no, my motivation was to become a world champion. That was the number one. There's only one world, okay?
mm,
They have many titles. The only one world. I went through the ranks, okay? I was Eastern Canadian, North American, Commonwealth, a world champion, okay? I had them all, okay? Yeah, I did the thing, but there, and I relinquished everything, all those other titles when I became a world champion. That's all I ever wanted. Okay, it doesn't matter what um 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 WBA, WBC, whatever story you're gonna tell me. I don't care. As long as it was a sanctioned world championship, that's
yeah.
all I wanted, and that's exactly what I got.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what I was promised by my trainer. I mean, my manager Raymond Rudder, and I believed in him. Rest in peace. I do believe in him.
Mm,
I did.
nice. Okay, okay, okay. Um, and just a specific boxing in general. Now, I'm not sure how much you follow the pro scene now. I just want to know your opinion about
Oh,
boxing styles. They say some boxers have a more fan friendly style, which is more of the brawler type. Not that much defense. But then there's also boxers that focus a little bit more on defending on the actual sweet science boxing part of it and avoid getting hit. But some uneducated boxing fans might consider do consider that boring. So I just wanted to know your opinion on that.
okay.
The brawler style versus the defensive minded boxers.
Again, boxing was not a game for me, but a means of survival. When it came to professional boxing, most people would consider my style boring, okay,
Mm-hmm.
because I take my time. But for me, it was survival until I reached my set goal. The crowd pleasing brawler I considered amateurish. I consider them amateur. 3 round, 5 round, even 6 rounds. Okay, no real time to think. Okay, um, a dependent, and I think it was a dependent and lucky style. Okay, therefore, I think as a coach and as a professional, because I like to analyze and to take apart my opponents, I would, take my time.
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I mean. It might be boring, but you get the job done.
But this thing to the uneducated eye, it might be boring, but to people that especially people that have been inside the ring before, you should understand,
Exactly.
what is going on, how the
Exactly.
person's breaking down their opponent slowly.
Exactly.
So
Well,
that's why
it takes a mind and it takes the love, Cedric. It takes the love. I have the love for boxing. Boxing. I when I was fighting,
do me a
I
favor,
consider myself
hold your camera down just a little bit so I can see that. There we go. That's better. Yeah.
okay. I consider myself married to boxing.
Hmm.
Okay, my boxing before I had any true real relationship, boxing was number one. Okay, for
Hmm.
me, nothing else mattered. Okay,
Right.
after boxing, I had my life.
Mm.
Okay, but boxing, you can't cheat. You can't cheat boxing. You
No.
can't. You can't fool boxing. You can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna take off this day." You can't say, "Oh, I'm not." If you're hurt and you're hurt, um, be wise and don't play a fool because punches are real. You could get really hurt. Okay,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay, but if you do your work and you take into consideration that you did everything, you should be unstoppable.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's how I felt. That's entire my career. That's how I felt. I did everything, and that's why I'm still champion.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
That's
yes.
perfect, man. Much respect, man. Much respect.
Yeah.
Um, Anything else that you want to talk about? I know you have a book coming. Someone's writing a book about you
Oh,
coming out next
okay.
year. Is it?
Yes, thank you,
Hmm.
Cedric.
Hmm.
I would like to just confirm. I'd like to confirm that I am currently working on with my friend and co-author Paul Arietta.
Hmm.
Paul is a former senior executive in Canada and now spends his time as a professor and author. Our hope is to launch the book in late next year. I'll be sure to keep you posted.
Perfect, perfect. And I'll be definitely be posting it and promoting it as much as possible.
Wonderful.
Well,
I appreciate that.
thank you very much, Mr. RasBarrington Frances. Once again, congratulations on your long and successful career. You put in a lot of hard work, and hopefully this gets out to a lot of people so people could show you that proper respect that you deserve.
I'd like to
Thank you.
say amen. Thank you so much, Cedric, for taking the time to spend and listening to me and hearing me. I appreciate it so much.
1, 2, 3, smack that thumbs up for this video. Smack it, baby!